of a action-adventure video game movie from 2001 starring Angelina Jolie. This is the first one, live-action movie that was made. Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Yeah, it stars a woman. It's an hour and 40 minutes without the end credits. So with the end credits, without it, it's like 135. And directed by Simon West, who did he did, I think, Con Air, and he also did the second Expendables movie. But let's get to it. Sorry, I started a little late. It's just that I wanted to. We lost an hour of sleep, so I had to do this early. Mutual Film Company. And while this is not a masterpiece, it is compared to the sequel and the 2018 movie, which I'm not a fan of that one. That was just so boring. Lara Croft Tomb Raider. And the first thing you see is Angelina Jolie's gorgeous green eyes. Yeah, I said it. It's not perfect. She's definitely a weirdo, but she can act. And she's not a bad-looking woman. I'll give you that. She looks the part, unlike Alicia Vikander, who has a tan for some reason and can't. She gets knocked on her ass every 5 minutes in that movie. In that version, I'm just like, I don't know. That was the more later games version of Lara Croft Tomb Raider, but it just didn't do it for me. I was so bored. She doesn't rate it too much until near the end of the film. She had to show a lot of close-ups of her crotch and her bosoms. I'm like, yeah, that was kind of the appeal of Lara. She was a female character that was not a damsel in distress like Princess Peach when she started. And she was badass. See, more shots of her crotch. And Angelina had a lot of kids. She had 3 biological kids with Brad Pitt and adopted 3. And this is still a better movie than the 2017 Mummy or the 2018 Tomb Raider movie or any video game movie that came out last year. Because that Borderlands movie was freaking terrible. This robot, yes, a mix of CG and practical. I think it looks okay. I know the game, she doesn't really fight robots, but they wanted to take some liberties. That was cool. You got a girl in shorts shooting things and she's in tombs. It's a game, guys. You're not going to get any deeper than that. Because when this movie came out, there were only a couple of games on the PS1 and the PS2 had just come out. So it wasn't like there were 50 games to choose from. And at least Angelina Jolie doesn't die here. Like in Wanted, I was like, why would you kill her off when she was the selling point of that movie? I'm not looking for a deep plot. The Mario movie didn't have a deep plot, and I love the film from 2023. And honestly, I never played the Tomb Raider games because the early games had some really awkward controls. That's cool. This is better than that Final Fantasy movie that came out the same year. And Angelina Jolie is used better, way more in this movie than in Eternals because she's using her natural hair, and she's badass and she's much younger. Now, when they made a discount Wonder Woman, it didn't work because unlike Gal, while she won an Oscar, I'll give her that, she didn't have presence like Gal did as Wonder Woman in Eternals. I forgot what her name was, Athena or something. Yeah, waste of a good actress, waste of time. Yes, ma'am. This is still a better opening than the last 2 Terminator movies. Not only does she look like the character, she acts like the character. Because you could look like the character, but if you don't have the essence or the personality of the character, You lose. That's why Alicia Vikander couldn't sell that movie. It's boring. She's too small. Thus, Angelina had the better career. She won an Oscar and did way more franchises than Alicia Vikander. She did this, Kung Fu Panda. Eternals was supposed to be her breakout in the MCU, but it was just a waste of her time, man. Such a waste. Lara's Party Mix. And her father, John Voight, is in the movie too as a cameo. It was emotional for her because she hadn't seen him in years. Bugger. Yes, this is her British franchise, but who cares? At least Angelina's not a Brit, so. At least she's not boring like Kate Beckinsale in Underworld. I'm sorry. I was so bored out of my mind when I saw the first Underworld. I'm like, why is the movie over 2 hours when this movie's under 2 hours? Because it doesn't waste my time with pointless exposition and narration. You don't need a narration every time a woman is a lead. If it's not based on a novel, you don't need to have a narration. The games didn't have narrations like this. Yeah, that's annoying. See, that scene was over. There's her in the bathtub. I remember this scene in the trailer. Hey, it's Women's Month. I have to acknowledge every kind of woman. Real women, not fake women. You know what I mean? Like Amelia Perez is a fake woman. Not Zoe Saldana, the other person. Hello, beautiful body. They don't show much. It's a PG-13. It's not like Original Sin where you see a lot of Angie or Gia or Girl Interrupted. There you see a side boob. Why? Angelina Jolie knows she has a gorgeous body, even to this day. Venice, Italy. Because with the Mummy films, they drag it out by having way too many characters. Whether it be the Brendan Fraser movie from '99 or Mummy Returns or the 2017 movie, there's just too much characters. Too many things going on, especially Mummy Returns. You could have cut like 5 characters. It would have been much easier to get through. Also, this is a few months before Harry Potter came out. Sorcerer's Stone. Or the Philosopher's Stone, as they call it in the UK. What is that? These people take themselves way too seriously, man. I have no explanation. Oh my god. I have no idea what you're saying. At least Angelina, I can understand her. It's not like Brad Pitt in Snatch, where I have no idea what he was saying in that movie. One week. Yeah, some of the acting is hit and miss. With her, she nailed it. Daniel Craig, his American accent's weird because we already knew he was British. I mean, this is before he was Bond in Casino Royale. This is a few years before that, but I knew he was British when I saw him in, what was it, Kid in King Arthur's Court, when I saw that as a kid. That he was in that. That was the 90s. Again, what is that thing? That guy's a dude, but what is that? The person next to him. I'm wearing my Mario shirt, see? Look at that symbol. Well, that was a pointless scene. See, that's why the movie's an hour and 40 minutes. It's like a couple of side characters, I don't care about it. Oh, what a beautiful morning it is. God, this accent suck ass. Mostly. I know, you don't have to tell me. This. And also the turkey is at Lara Croft. That was a complete failure. Why? Because they had to make Lara unlikable in that Netflix show. That Netflix cartoon that came out last year. Nobody cares about you, turkey. Nobody cares. You're a yawn. And you'll be a yawn when the movie comes out. When Mission Impossible 8 comes out and you're the worst part, hey, you're not going to make it through. You're not getting a spinoff. Ilsa deserved that spinoff, not you. And Josh was like, she wanted to do other things. You didn't have to kill her off. She could have left the movie and not get killed off. You know, like Paula Patton in 4. Or freaking this girl, Lord Richard Croft, missing in the field, May 15, 1985. I was 5 months old. And John Voight is still alive. And it really is her father. Yeah, that means a lot. That's saying a lot in this movie. Because her father, you know, John Voight left her when she was a little girl to have her mother raise her alone. That's why Angie became bisexual. Because she didn't have a father to tell her that it was wrong. But hey, that's not my problem. I'd still have sex with a bisexual woman as long as they acknowledge me. Yeah, it's nice. This and the Scorpion King movies I do enjoy for what they are, but the best one is the first one. The first Scorpion King, this, and even The Mummy. The best one of the last 20 years, 20-something years is the first 1999 movie, because Returns is too long. Tomb of the Dragon Emperor I think is underrated, but the 2017 movie with Tom Cruise was a failure. It was so bad that it destroyed a universe before it even got started. Even DC at least had more than 10 movies to their name in the DCEU. Now they got to make a new DCU. Hopefully it pans out. And I'm going to see Superman no matter what. I need that movie in my life this year. Flashback. I thought that was Mummy. Looks like Linda Carter, but it's not her. There he is. I met John Voight in college. His performance here is fine. It's not cringeworthy like Anaconda or something like that. Or in Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2. Ooh. And Angelina Jolie does get into parts, because when she did Maleficent, I was like, yeah, I saw her potential. Yes, Josh, I know you hate that movie. I thought her performance was fine. That wasn't the problem. But making Maleficent an anti-hero, she's the villain. That's why I like Mistress of Evil more. It had more action. It was different. It wasn't a copy of the Sleeping Beauty story. It went in a new direction. So at least I give it credit for that. I liked it better than the first one. And the fairies are not as annoying as in the first one. It was prettier to look at too. I don't mind a darker take on a fairy tale. Just do it right. That's why I didn't hate Cruella, because Cruella was different. It didn't have to be just remake 101 Dalmatians again. No, they showed it from her perspective, and the best part of the movie was Horace, Jasper, and Cruella. Those scenes with them together was gold, for me anyway. Because at least you had 2 American actors in there. That was one step more than any of these Bintos I saw in any of these MCU movies in the past 5 years. They're taking a spot from somebody else that deserves it more. Black Widow and Eternals and freaking even No Way Home with some of the side characters. Didn't need that. Even the last Spider-Verse movie. Why was there a British guy in the movie? What did that add to the movie? Nothing. Anyway, back to Lara Croft. Yes, smash that wall, baby. She has beautiful dark hair. Yes, I know, guys. I know. I have a hair thing. It's one of my tics. It's one of the things in Inside Out 2 I get. Like, I like your hair. Can I touch it? I love that. I love that. When it comes to touching hair, I do not discriminate. No matter what hair color you have. Good afternoon, heterosexual guy. I saw the movie on DVD last year. I'll say this is Oscar-worthy compared to many films today. Yeah, the CG is a little dated, but it's not shoved in your face so much that it looks like shit. No, that's the Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out a year before this. That looks terrible. The CGI dragons look like they look like an asylum thing. I swear this guy thinks he's Jason Fleming and he's not. Okay, okay. He's not even from the game. At least I don't think so, anyway. This guy wasn't even in Harry Potter. "5 a.m. I'm not even awake at 5 a.m. She's like a female Indiana Jones. Yes. Thank you, Captain Obvious. At least Lara Croft is a female. There's none of this non-binary business. And we had to remember to push the clocks forward if you live here in the U.S. In most U.S. states, you have to push the clock forward. I don't think Hawaii does that, though. They don't acknowledge daylight savings time. I think that in Alaska. I thought you drink tea. Yeah. Who is this actor, anyway? I don't even know who he is. Ian Glenn? I think that's him. I never heard of him. And her voice is kind of soothing. And I missed it in Kung Fu Panda 4. It just wasn't the same without Angelina and the rest of the cast. It just wasn't. For Furious 5, you had the gall to take that out of the fourth movie. Why would you do that? That's like taking out the original cast from Shrek. I know where they all came from. Jesus, these people and their accents. That's why I did American Werewolf in Paris more than American Werewolf in London. Because, again, I will take a French accent any day over a British accent. Why? Because sometimes it can be sexy. These people, they all sound like this. And I'm like, it just hurts me a lot. I'm only doing this because I'm for Lara. That's it. Tomorrow I'm doing another DC Superhero Girls movie. Anubis? That's a cool shot. Whee! Because I thought Alicia Vikander just didn't do it for me. An auction. Pounds. This movie's fun and it's short. It didn't have to drag ass like Eternals. Why would you do a 2.5 hour movie and Angelina Jolie's only like a third of it? She does nothing at the end. Her and Kumail Nanjiani, they do nothing at the end. Against the fight with Icarus, it's just the worthless hobo. The British chick. You have the freaking deaf chick, the deaf Flash, and you have the black guy, and then you have Leah McHugh, who looked like she was 12 in that movie. She's legal now, but she has nothing to do in that movie. There's Daniel Craig. Now he's doing a southern accent in those Knives Out movies, which is weird. They switch accents in this movie. It's weird. Just juicy lips, just like Scarlett Johansson. He did fine in Cowboys and Aliens. I haven't done a podcast for that, but I'll do it in the summertime. It's a summer movie. It wasn't a winter movie. It came out in like July. It flopped, but I got my cut signed by Olivia Wilde herself. So yeah, just like Disney. Heyo. Plus, this Blu-ray won't warp because it's a Paramount movie. It's not. They said that your Warner Brothers DVDs from 2006 to 2008 won't work anymore. This is a Blu-ray, and it's not Warner Brothers. It's Paramount. They don't try to cheat people out of their movies. I got a lot of Paramount movies and Disney and Universal and Summit Entertainment, New Line Cinema. I got a lot of stuff that's not Warner Brothers. Ultimate Power. I mean, this is not as good as the Sonic movies or Detective Pikachu or Mario or even the first Mortal Kombat, but it's not. It's one of the less terrible ones of the 2000s because Uwe Boll, all of his video game movies sucked. All of them. His only good movie is Rampage, not the one with the monsters, the 2009 Rampage movie, which is not based on a game. It's an original story and it did well. It's actually got a good lead and it's well shot and it's not terrible. But Blood Rain and Alone in the Dark and House of the Dead, oh my god. She knows how to make an entrance and an exit. And the film is shot well in most of these locations. It's not a CGI fest like Expendables 4. Because I'm sorry, when a freaking tree is knocking Lara Croft over like she's made of glass, I'm like, this is just laughable, man. You're making your main female weak, and she's not weak in the games. Even in the worst Tomb Raider games, Lara is not a weak character. At least Angelina's still the best one since the voice actress in the games, because no other live action version or cartoon after this could even come close. Leah is not legal, or did I miss something? Yes, she is. Yes, she is, Josh. She's like 18 now. When she did Eternals, she was like 12 or 13. Now she is. Look it up. Leah McHugh is not a kid anymore. That was like 4 years ago, and she's like 18 or 19 now. Maybe 20, I don't know. But she's not a kid anymore. This isn't Julia Butters. This is Leah McHugh. I thought she was cute, but she looked like a fairy from like Peter Pan or something. Mister? That's a dude? Oh, yeah, he looks like one of the guys from Harry Potter, the Weasley twins. He looks like one of those actors. The haircut. Did you miss something? Yes, Josh, you did. Because, again, I'm fast. She's legal now. I looked her up. Yeah, your Warner Brothers Blu-rays, I said the DVDs that were made between 2006 and 2008. If they were old and they were manufactured in those years, then they're probably not going to work. That's what they said. The manufacturers thing. I don't know. They said that they have disc rot, but Blu-rays don't get disc rot because look, a Blu-ray like this one is scratch resistant. You couldn't scratch this thing unless you have a hammer or a nail gun or something. You can't scratch it with your fingers. He knew your father. Sounds like a Star Wars character. My Blu-rays work fine too. I took care of them over the past 20 years, or close to 20 years. DVDs I've had for over 20 years because I first got a Blu-ray in 2011. That was like almost 15 years ago. So for the past 2 decades. I can't stream everything. I'm sorry. Sorry, Hollywood. I'm not going to get all your streaming services. It would take me the rest of my life to get all of them. Plus, some of these movies are not on streaming. They're not. This one is in some streaming services, but the Mario movies from '93, no, not available on streaming. Some of the Disney movies, Disney Channel movies, not available to stream. Speciality? We say specialty. Is he talking about the artifact or her? Did I miss something? Yeah, you did. Again, I know when a girl is legal, like Eva Carlton and Sophia Woodard and Lexi De Benedetto, and then when they're not, like Lexi Janicek, who is 13. She's 13. She's going to be 14. They call her Alexandra because her and Lexi have the same first name. This is a precursor to what Karen's outfit would be. Yes, but Karen wasn't even an actress yet in 2001. She was like a teenager when this came out because I was 16 and I'm older than her. So she was like 14 or something. She was just a teeny bopper in Scotland, not an actress yet. You want a female character to be more a little vulnerable. Yeah, but not completely made of glass, Josh. Because if you see the 2018 movie with Alicia Vikander, she gets knocked on her ass every 5 minutes that she's out there. Angelina gets hurt here, but not... That stunt was good, by the way. But she's not, like, getting knocked down with trees and getting almost killed by a tree trunk or falling on her ass on a ship. No, that's weak. This isn't Uncharted. Is this better than Uncharted? Yes. Only because it's not a CGI fest and they nailed the character here. I was there an easier way without being weak. Yeah, vulnerability. Bleeding a little bit's not going to hurt. But I'm saying if they get knocked on their ass every 5 minutes, it's weak. They don't have to be Supergirl either. Like the hobo. She's not vulnerable at all. A range shot. That's cool. She's like... It's like bungee jumping or... You know, I'm not going to make fun of this movie just because, again, The Matrix came out a few years before this. And it was in that same vein. Every action movie wanted to be The Matrix. After 99, everybody wanted to do martial arts and bullet time and wire work and all that craziness. And I'm like, yeah, but it got played out. After the third Matrix, it was like, yeah, we're over this, guys. Even when the fourth one came out, they didn't do as much bullet time because it wasn't special anymore. Because when Shrek was doing it, I'm like, yeah. Shrek and Kung Pao and all these other movies. That's a cool stunt. Vengeance. No, that's another movie. Sorry. It's all good stunt work. It's not high art. This was never going to win awards for the choreography or the cinematography or the art direction, but it's done well. Angelina commits, and she's fun to watch. More fun than Alicia Vikander and the turkey, because at least she's trying, and she's the only actress to do 2 Tomb Raider movies. 2. Vikander's like, I'll take 2. No, you're not coming back. Fabio. Pepsi, yep. Product placement. We're so badass. It's like Cirque du Soleil meets The Matrix. That's awesome. It's a good stunt. Because if it's a real woman doing that, it's okay with me. I'm tired of CGI figures. Everything has to look like a video game. Not like this. This actually is based on a video game. It looks Space Invaders. That's a Space Invaders reference. Get it? Because it's a video game movie. Hey John, how's your weekend going so far? It's fine. I like Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Angelina's fun in this film. I also love the games. I've never played the games, but as a movie based on a game, it's mostly like it sticks to the formula of the game. That is awesome. Because again, there's a real stunt woman doing this. The power shots is really a woman doing this, so it's really well done choreography. Stunt people deserve an Oscar just for risking their lives doing these crazy stunts. Tom Cruise does it every movie that he does. Every action movie, yeah, he commits, man. Every single one, even Top Gun Maverick, and he was mostly flying in that. Hmm. He was flying. So I probably missed something, but I usually always on top of it. Bleeding too much, yeah. I saw an episode of Gen 5. I saw the pilot. That's mostly what happens with Jazz Claire. Great, it's a good performance, but she has the ability to cut her hands and then bleed out of her hands and shoot it like freaking like a lightning bolt or something. It's kind of weird. It's a little on the nose. No, I don't want to see that. We get it. She's a girl, and I get where they bleed from. I know. I live with a mom and a sister, and a female dog who used to have her period, so I get it. That opening was pretty tragic, though. Oof. I have played them, and they're awesome. Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider are my favorites. Tom Cruise is always on point with stunts. Yeah. Bugger. I don't even know what that means. Curses? Your car keys? And this is before cars were electrical. Hybrids were not around in 2001. The movie never gets annoying. Again, they did this in The Matrix, and also Mission Impossible 2 came out a year before this. That's how the 2000s were. They always wanted to be The Matrix or James Bond or something like that. That's awesome. It's got really good action sequences. Simon West knows how to do that really well. That's why Con Air was such a good movie. It was. It's a little long in the tooth. The third act is a little bit too long. It should have ended after John Malkovich died. The movie should have just ended there. Nick Cage should have saw his wife again, hug, kiss, and then the movie's over. You didn't need a third act where it just goes another 10 minutes long with a chase sequence that was not necessary. You missed. I wink at her. Why not? She's still a woman. It's not like she changed her identity like Ellen Page. I'm not stupid. I know what you are. The UPS guy. They have UPS in England. I don't know. And this movie doesn't have DEI in it. It's not like everywhere you look, there's somebody of color in the movie. That's not necessary in every movie, even back then in 2001. Yeah, you should shut your face. Her real father. No, he's not dead. Blimey. Again, I don't even know what that means. It sounds like one of the Pac-Man characters. Like Blinky or something. Yeah, blimey. If I met Angelina, I would never mention Eternals because I'm like, yeah, that wasn't her fault. She didn't write the or direct the movie. It would have been better if she did, or produced it, and did it in a way that was respectful. Again, Anubis. I have no problems with a female lead because here they don't make her a Mary Sue. She can fail. She can get hurt. She's human. She's not a superhero. Yes, she does all these crazy stunts, but it works. I met you, John Voight. Yeah, he's a very political guy, but he's a good actor. He's done some bad films. We all have. Angelina did some terrible movies after this too. Like the sequel was, eh. Wanted was not her fault. That was James McAvoy screaming like a bitch. Ah! No, that was too much. That movie was like on crack. It was like this movie, but way more violent and way more mean spirited and cartoonish. The best part was when James McAvoy hits Chris Pratt in the face with a keyboard. Yeah, because of what he that's what you get for being an asshole. Serves you right. Opening your mouth. Here comes the exposition dump. Oh, so it's the Dial of Destiny. It's a much better movie than that. This is an hour shorter than that. Shorter. This isn't 2.5 hours where the movie did not need to be that long. Plus, that British chick ruined the movie for me. Stuntmen and women are still around for films and TV nowadays, so girls and girls are safe doing stunts if it's way too dangerous. Yeah, and it's real. Like the Fall Guy, that they really did stunts in that movie. Even though the stunts in the show are better. Illuminati, yeah, you don't want to know what those people are. $15. Her voice is soothing. If you've seen the movie, if the Kung Fu Panda movies, or even Shark Tale, it's not a great movie, but her voice is nice and soothing. Even in Beowulf, which is a late 2000s CGI fest, her voice is nice and soothing in that. It's probably one of the only soothing voices in that movie. Everything else is loud. There's Daniel Craig and some indigenous people. That's a nice shot. She's in one of those vehicles. The movie's about half done. Here she comes, driving through the jungle, and there's no stupid tour guide to talk to her. That's annoying in the Jumanji sequels. That tour guide was really annoying, man. God, that character was annoying. So annoying. Look, moths. Yep, they almost got it. Yep, tear it down. Yay! Again, that was a real set. This is not a CGI fest like a lot of movies are nowadays, where every movie costs 200 or 300 million dollars, and I'm like, why? If it looks like a video game cutscene, why am I watching it in the theater? The new Mission Impossible costs $400 million. That's more than 3 times the budget of this film, and yet this looks better. And this came out in, over 20 years ago. Yeah, I don't know where the money goes. I have no idea. A little girl. And Daniel Craig doesn't come back in the sequel because in the sequel it got Gerard Butler, and he's just kind of there for me in that movie. That was before he did 300 and really established himself. An Asian girl. She she adopted 2 Asian boys. These studios would pay the actors and writers during the strike, and that went to. Agreed to a new deal in November. These budgets wouldn't have escalated. Yeah, these budgets went freaking astronomical. That didn't happen in 2007. Did Transformers 2 cost $300 million to make when that came out? No. Or what about freaking the first Iron Man or the Incredible Hulk movie? They didn't. It's ridiculous. These budgets are getting astronomical now. Where did they get all this money? Where? Disney, I get it, but with Paramount, how did they make a Mission Impossible sequel decades after the first one, and it costs $400 million? So that movie has to make $1 billion to make a profit, $1 billion. So Cap is not doing as bad as that because it didn't cost $400 million to make. That's too much money. This movie has to make $1 billion just to turn over a profit, because like Top Gun Maverick. Cap Force should have done bad due to the main character complaints of being black and the troubles during the production. But I'm fine with what it made because, again, it's still doing better than Mickey 17. Did you see that, Josh? It bombed. Yeah, it bombed. Lara Croft Tomb looks good. A lot of movies from the 2000s, like Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Casino Royale, Dark Knight, Spider-Man, just all, mostly they do. Yeah, and while Dark Knight is way too long, it's still a good movie. It's still shorter than something like Oppenheimer, which Nolan was way too long with that. And that movie's his longest film, directed by him, released in theaters. It's longer than Interstellar. Just think about that. That's freaking long. At least Interstellar had gorgeous visuals and a good story. I don't know if Wes is in the game because, again, I'm not a expert on this franchise like I am with Mario or Kirby or even Final Fantasy. I know more than this. I don't know how people say this is cheesy and it's dated. I'm like, it's a better movie than the 2018 movie because there could be worse versions of this. That and that cartoon that came out on Netflix last year that nobody cared about because Laura's not likable in that, and she complains too much. And she's played by a British actress that can't act her way out of a bag. The Sword. The Boon of Scone. Dark Knight is a masterpiece. Well, I like it. I just don't. I think it's overrated. Interstellar was another achievement for Nolan. Even some movies in 2010 look great. That is a cool looking set. In the Alicia Vikander version, it took 90 minutes to get to the tomb raiding. And how is that movie longer? You're doing the same movie but worse. Why is she on a boat and why is she getting knocked down by freaking tree trunks? That's not the game. That's the more recent games that were not as well received as the original. Yeah, the visuals were good, but some of the controls and the difficulty was up your ass in those games. Right up your ass. You missed. And she's one girl. Because there's not a lot of female characters in this movie. They're just kind of side characters. I'll see. Plus, this movie's shorter than the original Indiana Jones. You know, shorter than Raiders, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade. Because you don't have to make a movie long to be epic. Sorry. This movie's almost as long as the original Wizard of Oz from 1939. And that movie's not that long. It's like an hour and 40 some minutes, which is fine. Not too long, you know? Eight. That was a good kitty. Here comes the wood. And it's almost there. It's like an obstacle in a video game. Yep, it needed some weight for the balance. Again, good stunt work. Here we go. It's like a ride. Seesaw. Yep, there it is. Let the water flow. And this doesn't have god-awful CGI. Like The Mummy Returns at the end of that movie, that CG looks freaking terrible. There's a lot of girl characters which I can get over because of Girls Are Lovely. Not all the time, but in this movie, yeah. More than just a character from Afterglow. Yeah, but Afterglow, again, very sensual performance by another Lara Flynn Boyle, and their procreation. I'm like, yeah, because I'm like, look at her in that movie. He's grabbing her breasts, and she's like, she's getting turned on by that again. That scene turns me on in that movie. It should. I have good taste. Like I said, some of the CG in this movie is a little dated, but it doesn't take me out of the movie completely. It was made in the early 2000s, so I can let it slide. Unlike some of the movies nowadays where they have bad CGI and the movies came out like last year. No excuse for that. We're 54 minutes in. Is that oil? And I haven't seen this movie for a while. Stone rock monsters. Hollywood believes that putting way too much CGI would always make movies look phenomenal. No, because it looks like a video game, and I'm like, this is based on a video game. It has an excuse. The Mario movie, Detective Pikachu, the freaking Mortal Kombat movie from '95, the what else? Even Monster Hunter. The monsters didn't look that bad, but In movies like Avatar, why is there CG all over the place? There's not one person in the movie. The people are in the background. Everything is a digital effect. It looks fake. It does, guys. I'm sorry. Zoe Saldana won an Oscar for her acting in Amelia Perez, not for her being with a helmet with big ears in front of a green screen. That just gets old. It got old years ago. They did this because the Mummy had scenes like this. In The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. Down you go, PS1 effect. This movie is a product of its time. Nowadays, we got video game movies that have CGI that looks like The Asylum made it. Borderlands, the CGI was not the problem. It's on 2B. Yeah, I think it's sexy. Because Julia Christie has a sex scene with Johnny Lee Miller, but it's not as sexy because she's much older. And she doesn't show much. Plus, she's kind of boring in the movie. With Lara Flynn Boyle, I'm like, she's like, I'm married to you and I want to have sex with you. I want a baby. I'm like, I get it. I want that too. But Johnny Lee Miller has no freaking clue because he's an idiot in the movie. Why would you not appreciate what you got at home, you dumbass? A lot of men don't do that. I'd be running like the Flash next to a girl if she said that to me. Yeah, running like the Flash. Last time we saw this was in 2018 when that other movie came out, which I don't want to watch that again. It was so painfully boring. She doesn't raid a tomb until the end of the movie. It's called Tomb Raider. And she doesn't do anything like that until the end of the film. What a cock tease. And some people said that movie was good. No, I'll take this movie any day. I will. I'd be a little conflicted. I'm like, why? I'm ready to have a child. My brother's going to be a father in a month. Unless she's underage, then it's a problem. But if she's over 18 and says, I want a baby, hey, let the Jewesses flow. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for procreation. Angelina did that 3 times. Twins and then a baby girl. Because they're not going to have Lara shooting like a wolf or something in this, like in the game, because they don't want to harm animals in a movie. They just don't want to do that. Video games on the PS3, PS4, PS5 look great. I also like Avatar. I think it's overrated. It is, because it's boring and it's way too long. She was in Guardians. Yeah, Guardians is better because at least they're covered in makeup and they have good CG, and it doesn't take me out of the movie because it's in space. Avatar's on a planet, Pandora, where everything looks digital. Even the water is digital. I'm like, wow, you can't even get real water? That still looks better than The Mummy Returns. That looked like shit. Like that CGI Scorpion King, I'm like, oh my god, this looks horrible. People were laughing in the theater because it was so bad. When I saw that in 2001 and when I was 16, I'm like, that is the worst effect in any of the Mummy movies. Any of them. Even the one from the 30s didn't look like that. It was a guy wrapped up in gauze, but it looked better than some CGI fest for the Scorpion King. It made me laugh. I'm like, oh my god, it looks bad. It's horrible. Like, it's horrible. The rest of the CG is passable, but that one, there is no excuse for the movie to look that bad. It could have been The Rock enhanced, but not like that. Also, this movie doesn't have subtitles for 20 minutes like Dune, which that was the thing I didn't like in Dune or Dune Part 2. Don't care about the Freeman language. No, Amy looked amazing in Sonic 3. And they didn't even show, they showed her face. But they didn't, she didn't talk because they didn't cast her yet. We're an hour in. That was a good stunt too. Granted, it was from a distance, but... Sorry, James Bond, but better luck next time. This is her movie. Committed to making Avatar. Yeah, Josh, but he has to commit. His CG effects team is what they're the ones that are committed. At least he has passion. The CGI in The Mummy Returns is laughable, but it's not that bad. I think it looks horrible. At the end, it looks terrible. The Mummy looks okay, and the Anubis and all the those wolves and things like that that run in the desert, they look fine. But that CGI at the end is so bad. This is the only subtitles in the movie at the near the in the third act. What is that? Thailand or Shanghai or China? He's using a landline. Amy is gonna get talk. Yeah, she's gonna talk. She does talk. I will give Cameron credit for being passionate, but he needs to control his ego. Yeah, and stop making your movies 4 hours. You're not you're not James Cameron. You're not freaking Francis Ford Coppola or Peter Jackson or Martin Scorsese. You're not making art. You're making a CGI cutscene for the next PlayStation 5 game. I hear from people that the language they speak is explained in the books, but it doesn't matter, guys. I'm not there to read. I'm there to watch, not read. That's why I didn't win for best writing, adapted screenplay or original screenplay, because nobody wants to read in the theater. Trust me, I know. When I saw Shang-Chi, they're like, I have to read this movie? Yeah, half of the movie is subtitled. Where? Venice, Italy, you dunce. This guy just sits on the computer all day. Why are they throwing water on her? Lighting candles. I only do that on my birthday. Or a scented candle. The women of Italy are beautiful. Yeah, but there's no Italian women in this movie because it's just her, mainly. Was he the Dalai Lama? Yeah, they said tea has healing properties for your throat and for certain parts of your body. I just don't drink it unless I'm sick. I like iced tea more than hot tea. Soon it's gonna be hot, so I'm gonna drink cold iced tea. It's a lovely looking film, and they go to Venice just like Last Crusade, but it's only a small part of the third act. It's not like the first half of the movie. POV shot. She used that same accent in Eternals, and it was not working. Why was her hair blonde? Some girl about Lizzie Broadway. Yeah, I saw the episode of Thing. That is exactly what she plays in Gen 5. That's Gwenpool for me. She's a little bit crass. She's short. She's blonde. That's Gwenpool for me, Josh. I didn't need to see her riding a big giant, dingus, but that was weird. Why would a superhero show have a giant CG dingus in my face? I'm like, yeah, that was a little bit much, guys. Yes, I know it's in The Boys. They show a dingus, but it was weird. It was one of the weirdest things I've seen, and that's saying a lot, because even the Penguin didn't have penis shots. Good thing I didn't watch that with my family. They would have saw that and be like, nope, I don't want to see a dingus. That Lizzie Broadway could be, she definitely could be her, because in the comics, whatchamacallit, Gwenpool is about 19 or 20 years old, and she's like in her mid-20s, so I think she could pull it off. Yes, her last name is Strange, Broadway, but she can act, and she has she has the essence. She has the essence of Gwenpool, so if Jessica Roth can't do it, I would say give it to her. I think she could really do it, and in that movie, you don't need to ride a guy's, manhood. Not in that way, because it was really weird. She's like really tiny, and yeah, I'm not gonna explain it. I don't want this video to get flagged. I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, I did it. Hey, as long as you're not wearing my blood, Angelina Jolie, and you don't hurt me, I'll be fine. Just look at me. I'm a heterosexual man. You're the kind of woman I go for most of the time, not all the time though. If they're more into women than men, then I'm like, okay, bye. Then that's queer or or pansexual or something. I don't know. At least she can act. That's why she won an Oscar when she was young. She wasn't even 30 when she won her first Oscar in Girl Interrupted. I've seen Gen 5, so I know why she is. Lizzie, yeah, she's a different Lizzie. Much more, she takes much more risks than other Lizzies I know. Amazon Prime superhero shows that don't hold back. Yeah, but I don't need to see a man's nether regions. It's weird. It's like the female nudity is like 2 seconds, but then the guy is like, yeah, I digress. For you. And this is before Game of Thrones came out, like a decade before. The franchises that sound like this were Tomb Raider, Harry Potter, Chronicles of Narnia, and Lord of the Rings, and what was the other one? The Pirates of the Caribbean, were the 2000s franchises where there were British accents everywhere. Yeah, they're gonna cover his crotch again. PG-13. They don't show any male nudity in this movie. They can't. It leaves you to your imagination. Yeah, you gotta wear some pants, dude. Traitor. We do have a American version of this man. Jeremy Renner is like the American Daniel Craig. Skin showing doesn't bother me. It does if it comes out of nowhere. Enora, I'm gonna be fine with it because I'm not gonna see that scene from Gen 5. At least Invincible, they don't do it, no, because it's animated. And animated nudity is not, it's not the same as real nudity. Even if it's a body double, it's a superhero show, not a softcore porn. Is the villain memorable in this movie? Not really, no. It's just kind of weak. 70 minutes in. At least the movie's short. That's why I chose this over uh, the Mummy films. You got the sunglasses from the game. Anora didn't bother me. No, so it's Skin. I'm like, guys, what were you expecting? A Disney Channel movie where they don't show anything, or the sequel trilogy where the girls are not sexy because they have to be SJWs and have to be boring? No, it's an R-rated movie. There's gonna be nudity in it. That's just how it is. R-rated means that they can take more chances, and NC-17 it would even be worse. If you see movies like Blonde or Showgirls, that's not a kids movie. To you too. Even Fritz the Cat got that rating, and that was animated. Think about that. It was a Ralph Bakshi movie. That movie that was not R. It was NC-17 because it was so sexually explicit and it was animated with cats. Of course, nowadays it would never make an animated movie like that. Flow is not like that. It's mostly family friendly. It's not NC-17. People don't know what's for the kids and what's for adults, like me. It's a dead zone. Yeah, it's kind of boring. There's Lara in a coat. Esther, I don't mind being sexy. I just tasteful, not force it against us. No, they didn't force anything. Did they do that in the prequels? Look at those ponies. There's real animals in the movie. Of course, it's not a good movie, Showgirls, but it's directed by a foreign director who's not afraid of nudity. Or people gyrating, or people doing, strutting. Those dogs are cute. That's not a U.S. country, though. I think it's Siberia or Nepal or something. I forgot which country it was. Oh, this is Russian. Why are they Asians here? Let me just mute this. Wait, I said mute. I said mute it. I'll just read the subtitles because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to hear this. I heard this today earlier. Paul Verhoeven see his movie. Yeah, also striptease has nudity. It didn't bother me. I know, Josh. It's not supposed to bother you. The dogs are better than the people in this movie. Those people are racist too. They attacked Ukraine. Why? Oh yeah, because Putin's an asshole. That's why. There, I said it. That guy can screw himself. Attacking people that didn't do anything to you because you want to stay in power all the time. But I don't want to get political here, so the movie's 73 minutes in. We're almost done, thankfully. So I'm not doing the sequel. I don't have the sequel or the 2018 movie. This one is good enough. It should have been one and done if they weren't to try it with a sequel because they changed directors from Simon West to John DeBont, and it was not the same. Cradle of Life just didn't have the same oomph, and there was an unnecessary sex scene in it with two people that have no chemistry whatsoever. I think he almost fell for real. See, those are sled dogs. Yeah, those dogs they work. When animals are running in the snow and they're used to the snow, they're working their tails off. There's real dogs, no CGI dogs here, like Avatar or Predators or something like that, or even the Hulk movie from 2003. Why were there CGI? They look bad. Hulk dogs? What the hell were they thinking? That was never in the comics. Hulk never had a dog in the comics. Run, sled dogs, run. And the sled dogs don't talk like in Snow Dogs. That there's one scene they talk. It's weird. Yep, ring the Saved by the Bell. And this wasn't as pun heavy as the that James Bond movie that came out after this. Tomorrow Never Dies. Yeah, that's a cartoon, guys. We all knew that because he's surfing in that movie. He's surfing in CGI. That's a cartoon. And also, he says Saved by the Bell in the movie. Yeah, and there's a guy named Mr. Kill. Yeah, I rest my case. This movie's a lot shorter than that Bond movie. One of the best things in that movie is Halle Berry. Because, yeah, she has some dumb dialogue in the movie, but she's hot as hell, and she was a cool character. Could have been more of that. A glow stick. Halle Berry is still gorgeous. Yes, she is. I saw her pictures at the Oscars last week. Absolutely stunning. And she kissed Adrian Brody. He won an Oscar again, and she kissed him this time. Hey, if a gorgeous woman like that kisses me, I will kiss back with tongue. Because why not? I'm heterosexual, and that just enhances my libido. No animals were harmed in this movie, guys. That's why Lara Croft doesn't shoot them because again, no, she can't harm an animal in this movie. That's why she fought a robot and some people. You saw the eclipse, the lunar eclipse. It's a fun movie. I like this movie. I don't love it. It's not one of my favorite video game movies, but it is done well. That's that's why this movie made money, and the 2018 movie did not. Because they at least tried in this. They put an attempt. They attempted to make it like the game, without winking in your face every 2 seconds. It's a video game movie. I know. I know who Lara Croft was back in 2001 because he was in a lot of PlayStation commercials back then. In between 1996 and 2001. That ass. It's fun. It's not Dollar Destiny where they do the same movie, but they make it double the running time and they have the most unlikable female lead in any of the Indiana Jones movies. I hated that character Shaw in the movie. She's horrible. She's so horrible that nobody even buys her toys. The score is good. Who did the score in this movie? Peter Afterman. Oh no, Grammy Revell. Graham Revell. He directed. He did the music. Yeah, those gamma mutated hot dogs look like shit. They do look terrible. Yeah, Halle Berry is very gorgeous. Yeah, I know. She was good at John Wick 3. Yeah. If a Wanda cosplayer kissed me like that, I would be in love. Yeah. Caitlyn could be unlikable in the movie and still care about her, even if she has a reason for it. Yeah, but no, she's not going to be the problem with Last of Us. I'm going to see season 2 in April. I must. The dogs are scared. Yep, the moon is covering the sun. Hey, this isn't a Zelda game. This isn't Zelda. It looks like the Triforce from Zelda, and that's not. This is not a Nintendo franchise. This is a Sony franchise. 80 minutes in. From 2013 is another game I love. I've never played the game because it came out on the PS3. I didn't have it, or PS4. I didn't have that when it came out. Dun, 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 dun. People are gonna hate her character. I'm not. A Lara. You stabbed Daniel Craig. This is a nice short movie, but not too short. Like the DC Superhero Girls movie was only 70 something minutes. This is an hour and 40 with the end credits. Without it, it's like 135. Now it goes to the Oscars. It would be a surprise. I wanted to go to the KCAs again. It's in May. Again, this isn't Zelda. Tornado will be at the KCAs again in the Loud. Zelda could work, yeah, if they keep Avi Arad away from the production. Because I'm sick and tired of him ruining studio interference. He ruined the Borderlands movie, let's face it. He's just not a good producer. After Spider-Man, he stopped caring. Because those movies made money. But when he's in charge of something else, he ruins it. With his ego. See, she's bleeding on the arm. See? Vulnerability. This movie doesn't drag ass. Like Pirates of the Caribbean, all those movies are too long. Especially the first three. Oh my god. Yeah, I respect him for helping Marvel, but now he needs he needs to retire. Him and all these directors that can't do it anymore, like Ridley Scott, just retire. No one's gonna blame you. You've done enough. Simon West is still doing stuff. It's been interference, especially with Spider-Man and what he did with Bratz. Oh my god, that movie was horrendous. It's one of the worst films I've ever seen. The 2007 movie. She really got emotional in this scene because it's her real father. I know he does. I know Bratz is worse. Yeah, that movie's horrible. hmm If a girl is hurting in a movie or show, a guy or someone can help their wounds. Yeah. You're not alone, Angelina. It's a touching scene. She really got emotional here. I've read up on it. Because she hadn't seen her father in years. Yeah, but they did like an Infinity War where he goes back in time. Or Sonic. Or the Flash or something like that. This villain's just too stoic and kind of boring. Look at the knife. Turn it around. And throw it and turn it the other way. Not too much blood because, again, there's a PG-13. Ooh. By blood be undone. Right in the eye. Like a shark. Look at her hand. Yes. No. And that's it. I'm like a little bit under anticlimactic death for the villain. Not a compelling villain at all. No. .360 shot. .360 shot. The watch with the face on it. The reason why movies are so overlong now is because they are some people that are comfortable seeing a movie without an intermission. Now, I can't see a 3 hour movie in the theater unless it's Endgame or something like that. I can't. I've done it already with Lord of the Rings, and like I said, Interstellar was almost 3 hours, and of course Endgame, which is 3 hours with the end credits. And I've seen a movie marathon in the theater, but it takes a lot out of you sitting in the theater that long. At home, at least I could sit down, lie down, I could go to the bathroom, I could pause the movie. You can't do that here. You can't do that in the theater. Lara's not really a punching and kicking kind of girl. She's more like a guns and yeah, and swinging girl. An intermission needs to be in something long. If Broadway shows didn't have an intermission, it'd be too long. Like the Christmas Spectacular does not have an intermission, so I usually go to the bathroom in a scene where I don't care. Like when they do the nativity story, I usually walk out to go to the bathroom because, again, I don't have to stay for the whole thing. I've seen it already. Yeah, right in the neck. Give me my watch. Pocket watch. An intermission doesn't make a movie go longer. It's a relaxing break. They did that when I saw the double feature of Toy Story 1 and 2. When the movie ended, I went to the bathroom because I'm like I couldn't wait. Bosom, yeah, bouncy bosoms. Very bouncy. It's what makes her a woman, guys. Nowadays, it would be directed by a woman, written by a woman, and produced by a woman because everything has to be about politics, gender, sexual, or gay or whatever. It's always about politics instead of just making a good movie and entertaining film. Have intermissions from them. Yeah, I love bosoms. I know you do, Josh. Hello, dogs. Whee! He's sliding. 91 minutes in, and we're almost done. It's like skiing. Those dogs are working their asses off in this movie. Whee! That was really dogs and really a stunt woman when they don't show Angelina's face. She deserved it, you know. She had to find a way out. I like that hat. Oh my god. You're such an Alfred. He has long hair. I know that beautiful long hair. And a white dress. And those big, gorgeous melons. It's a butterfly. Symbolism. The robot again. Hello, Terminator knockoff. Two guns. Yep, it's a good movie. I think it's a fun movie. It's the best movie we're gonna get of Lara Croft. 92 minutes. See, it's not even that long. That's it. Just stop the movie. There's no post Marvel stinger here because this was 2001. Even Marvel didn't have that till 2006's X-Men: The Last Stand. It was like the first non-MCU movie to have a stinger. Even though the next movie did not have Xavier in it. Well, it was a prequel, so it had him, but younger. But this is a fun movie. If you haven't seen it for a while, watch it. This is the only one worth watching because Cradle of Life is and the 2018 movie is awful. So it's just so boring. But this one was nice and fast pace, fun action fluff. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. Acknowledge me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be doing another DC movie. So see you in the next one. Bye.